Want to enjoy some plants or flowers, but you don't have a yard for it?
Yeah, just because you live in a small space doesn't mean you can't have a place for a garden. Jason Opheim with Hermes Landscaping joins us now to show us more about container gardening. And Jason, I just want to point out you're on our deck and you're on concrete, so you have all these plants around you and they're not in the ground.
That's correct. These are actually container plants. What you can see kind of in front of me is kind of the container gardens that we talk about quite a bit for people's front yards, backyards, and just kind of dressing up the whole landscape.
Hey, Jason, talk about the potato vine that you have right there, right in front of you, that green, light green. And the reason why I really like those plants, they are so easy, they grow very quickly, and they spread. Can you talk about those plants?
Yeah, absolutely. These plants here are what we call kind of our spiller type plants. These are the ones that you actually plant kind of on the front side of your containers. And what they do is, you can see what I'm doing here, they actually kind of just spill over the edge and create a beautiful kind of just a nice containerized area right around the base of the plant and really dress it up very well, very easy to take care of, and just makes a big splash.
Now, what about flowers? Because, you know, you want to add some color. We talked about that, adding that pop of color into your garden. I'm terrible with flowers. Somehow, every single flower I've ever had, I managed to kill. So what are some good flowers to grow in a container, and what are some things you need to keep in mind to keep it alive?
Well, the one thing that you need to be concerned about when you're putting the containers together is kind of if it's a sun or a shade container. Like this one right here with my right hand, this is a sun-loving container garden, and then the one on the other side here is a shade-loving. So that's really the big difference. As far as plants themselves, you can really get away with just about anything in a container itself. It's just mainly where on the property or where in your landscaping you want to put them.
Okay, go over that really quick again. Sun-loving container. Show that container because it's covered by plants and foliage.
Sorry. This one right here, you've got, this is a sun-loving container. We have a coleus is kind of our thriller piece, and then we have geraniums, which are these, and petunias on the sides, which are kind of the filler, and then you have ivy, which is kind of flowing over the edges, kind of give you your spiller type item. And then on our shade-loving, on this side over here, right in the middle, our thriller piece is the caladium, which is a very popular plant for shade gardens. And then we have our petunias, again, as our spillers and kind of filler type items around the base, and these are the ones that you want to keep in full shade.
Beautiful. Those caladiums right there, also, some people may call them like elephant ears. They get to become pretty tall, am I correct? Can you cut them down?
That's exactly right. Yeah, they do get anywhere from probably on the low side 12 inches up to about 24 inches tall, so they can get relatively big in a landscaping itself or in a container itself. You can cut them back, but when you do that, you're going to lose this big leaflet on the top for pretty much the rest of the season. All
right, so what do you need then to start your own container garden?
Well, first off, you need a nice container, just a real easy one, something that has, you know, a good base to it, that has usually some drain holes in the bottom so that the water will actually go out when you're watering the plant. A very good base of soil mixture to put inside there, something good with compost and peat moss. You also, one thing to consider on the bottom of the container, you want to make sure you put some rock or some gravel in there, because what that'll do is allow the drain holes to stay open so that the soil doesn't plug it up when you're watering, allows the water to get out. And then beyond that, it's really whatever plants you'd like to fill it with.
All right. Well, Jason Opheim with Hermes Landscaping, thank you so much for joining us today.